you won't believe what the M solo sounds like. Hello, welcome back. Thank you once again. You've seen a couple of videos that I've done so far on the M solo. I've unboxed it. That was amazing, wasn't it? The lid coming open. Oh, who knew? And I also had a look around it and had my first impressions. So what I wanted to do today is just a quickie, as I like. I thought it'd be interesting if you're a studio owner or you record at home, what instrument would you like to have your Hammond sound on? Well, obviously you'd love to have a C3, wouldn't you? Or a B3, or maybe an XK5, 122, whatever. But could you get away with the M solo and a 122 instead of the C3? So you spend all your money on the output, spend it on the 122 and the valves and the lovely warmth and what have you, and then little M solo that you could just pop away when you're not using it, and would it do the job? So what I've done is I've jerry-rigged the M solo and the C3 into the same 122, same microphones, everything going into the back of Pro Tools. I've got some processing on it. You may remember the sounds. I've done a video on that actually, on what the processing is. At the moment they're all in bypass, so maybe I'll leave it like that. We'll have a bit of a look around and see. So here we go. I'm going to put some headphones on for this so I can hear what's going on as well, but I think you'll be impressed. Okay, welcome back. Do you like my headphones? I probably should tell you what they are. They're fantastic little lightweight Sennheisers that I've got. They are the HD 2070 ohm. They're amazing, these ones. Cables just ever so slightly short. But lightweight over earphones, superb. Okay, I think it's the first time I've done headphones actually for one of my videos, but let's have a quick listen. So we'll go this way, shall we? So what do you think straight away? Well, the M solo is brighter, isn't it? It's got some brilliance around it, it's brighter. These old organs, they do get duller. Some were brighter than others in the shop, in the factory. This one is all the original components and caps, so it is quite a dark one, I must admit. And when I engage the Profcon Overdrive, which I'm not doing at the moment, I do always kind of try and sweeten it up and get a bit of brilliance in there. So it is a bit darker. What are your first thoughts? Comments, please. Put them in the comments. I really want to know what your first thoughts are. Whilst you're typing, little subscribe button and a bell, please press it. It makes a big difference to me and my channel. So thank you very much for that. All the people that have been doing it, 7,000, 8,000 of you, fantastic. Thank you. Back to the M Solo, the important thing. I think it sounds pretty good, don't you? I'm not seeing any need right now for the Hammond. If you're in the studio, for the C3, if you're in the studio doing small parts, remember you've got the transpose button so you can get the low end and the top end separately. But of course what you haven't got is you haven't got the full set of keys and you don't have the dual manual. So it depends on who's in the studio and doing what, really. But if you are just wanting to put a part down which is going to sit in within a couple of octaves, something like that, that's pretty good so far, isn't it? Pretty good. Okay, let's have a look. We've got things to check, haven't we? We've got vibrato and chorus to check, and we've got percussion. And remember, it's all going through that 1, 2, 2, which enrages some people, but it depends where you're coming from. We've done a video before, haven't we, about this straight in. This is around if you're in a studio, a shorter space where you didn't really want the mechanics of a C3 or a B3. Could you put that through the 1, 2, 2, and could you make it sound nice? Right, so let's have a look at the vibrato and chorus. So headphones on. Right, let's do it properly. Switch the right one on. Okay, so vibrato chorus. I noticed, did you notice my C3, the vibrato is duller than the chorus, whereas on the M Solo it stays nice and bright. I don't know if that's a quirk of the organ I've got here or not, but it was interesting. I thought they've done really well. A lot of people are doing really well with the chorus now and emulating it, and this was a fine example. So well done for that. Only a few more tests to go, right? I think it might be percussion now. Let's have a go. Are you ready? Oh. Okay, what do you think of that? I thought the percussion was fantastic. Mine's a bit dull. I think it's a little bit lower than usual. On the XK5, I always dial it down a little bit. This is out of the box. I think the percussion is fantastic. And we haven't even looked at overdrive, delay or reverb yet. This doesn't have delay or reverb, so let's not bother with that. But we can have a look at overdrive if you're up for it. What do you reckon? Okay, yeah, I saw you. Yeah, no, not all at once. I got it. Right, let's have a go at that then. Great. That overdrive is really good, isn't it? Don't you think? And it's all emulated, of course, but that sounds really nice. Down here, I've got a Profcon ZD01 from Mr. George Krabs in Australia, and it's an amazing piece of kit, and it's a tool, and it's set exactly how I like it. If you want to know a bit more about that, see my previous videos, or go and have a chat with George. Mention my name, you never know, do you? Let's carry on a little bit. Do a bit of overdrive and do a bit of Leslie on fast. We've got the Leslie on slow at the moment and the bypass on, obviously. There was a moment earlier on where the bypass was on, but only for a split second. I hope you didn't notice. And it was off, and I fixed that because I was an idiot, and now I'm reborn as a not idiot. So let's have a look. I digress. Let's have a look at Leslie on. How's that for you? What did you think of that? Okay, so a quick run through of the Hammond M Solo before it goes back to Hammond UK, fulfilled by Bonners down in Middlesex, I think it is, and Milton Keynes, something like that. Speak to Tony, mention my name, you never know. Good or bad, you take your chances. But he's very kindly lent me this for a week so I could show you guys and girls what it sounds like. What do you think? What do you think? Is that a phrase? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this? I'll tell you mine. For what they're worth, I think it's incredible. I think it's absolutely incredible. For what they've got for a £999, so under £1,000 package, what they've done is amazing here, isn't it? Here is a full old C3. Okay, it's going into a 122. Yes, I know, I'm sorry. But if you're a studio owner and you're looking at me right now thinking, I wish you'd get on with it, don't worry about that bit. But if you're looking at me and thinking, maybe I should have a Hammond in there, maybe I've got this big Hammond in there that I need to sell, maybe it doesn't work, or it needs servicing, or the overhead is just too much for you. Got to be that, hasn't it? Got to be that. I think if you're going to get violent with it or needed the two hands and stuff, then clearly you're going to be looking at a C3, B3, XK5. But for a recording tool for £1,000, really? You'd have that, wouldn't you? You'd have that. Okay, so if you wanted to hear this through its own laser simulation, that was in the previous video, so you can have a good hear of that in stereo as well and all those things. This is in stereo, but stereo microphone's off the 122. If you want to know how I processed the Pro Tools, then there's a video that is called something like You Can Have My Organ Sound or something like that on my channel, Nick Foley UK. Have a look at that too. And finally, if you value what you're hearing and what you're getting and the content from me, feel free to buy me a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. And the way to do that is to go to patreon.com, Nick Foley UK. Here I am. You get all the videos before. You've already seen this video. Obviously, you're patrons, haven't you? I love you guys and girls. But you've already seen this. You get all this nice and early, and that's what I give back to you. And what you give to me is a few quid for a cup of coffee, which is greatly accepted. I might even have a cake, but you know, watching my figure. So there you are. Everything's done. The M Solo is going back in the box. Hammond UK would be pleased that it's not been scratched. And there's the, there we go. Comes in a couple of colours, I noticed. There's a black and there's this red. Yeah, have it in this red every time, wouldn't you? Oh my life. What a beautiful red keyboard sat on top of my Hammond organ. And I don't say that too often. I'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed it. Speak to you later. Thank you. Yeah, I know it's all running, but I've got to balance these things, haven't I? Ay, ay, ay.